Hello YouTube, this is Linda again, and I'm just giving you an update. I want you to know that I lived in my teepee for 9 months, but I needed to move back to the Abilene area to complete 2 semesters here before I transfer to A&M, so I'm no longer living in the teepee. But another thing I want you to know is that anything that I ever said to discourage you from living in a teepee, forget about it, because I'm going to sell my home and I'm going to buy another teepee to live in. I think I'll buy a larger teepee this time, even though it's just me. And I read every one of the comments from my teepee living video, and I think my experience will be even more enjoyable if I follow the advice from my subscribers. So that's what I'm going to do. I've written down everything that has been suggested to me, and I have a proposal. I'm not going to be purchasing another teepee until I get through with my Appalachian Trail through hike. I'll start that in June, and I'm going to allow myself 9 months to complete that. Once I'm finished, I'll be buying a larger teepee, as I said, and I want to invite some of my subscribers to visit my teepee, to actually come and look and see what I've done, and spend a night or two, bring your family, and see if you can make suggestions that would make that experience more enjoyable. Now, there is a catch. First of all, this will not be until December or January of 2015, but the catch is you have to let me videotape you and get your suggestions, and we'll put that on YouTube as well. So any of those suggestions you've given to me that are valuable, our subscribers will see that, and they'll be able to benefit from that as well. Now, before I go, I want you to know that if you missed it, mesquite bean season is over in Texas. And if you've never eaten mesquite beans, you're missing out. You can use mesquite beans for a lot of things. You can make jelly out of them. You can make a porridge out of them that's sweet. It's sort of maple flavored. It's very nutritious, and it actually helps with blood sugar if you know someone who's diabetic. Chewing on these things, my children chewed on these forever when they were kids, but you can make drinks out of them. Very healthy drinks, sort of like a lemonade. But right now in Texas, here in September, is prickly pear season. The prickly pears are bursting with juice right now. They are so sweet and so purple. And I have a little trick that I learned this year, because every year I get stickers, from picking the things, even though I use gloves and tongs. But this year, to get the juice out, to extract the juice, I actually put the prickly pears, after they were scrubbed, into my pressure cooker. And after the rocker started, I let them cook for 3 minutes and cooled them immediately. When I opened the lid to the pressure cooker, the juice just burst out of these pears. Even though I sliced the pears in two, the juice came out very easily. And then, with the pulp, I ran it through my food processor just on burst so it wouldn't chew up all the seeds. And I got enough juice just from the pulp that I normally throw away that I could make 2 or 3 batches of jelly with that, because I had about 16 cups. So, if you have never had prickly pear juice, there are lots of things you can do with it. Prickly pear juice can be made into a syrup for pancakes for children. It can be made into gelatin. As a juice itself, it's very nutritious. You can dilute it or put it with lemonade. It's very good. One of my favorite ways to have it is around my son's birthday, which is in September. I like to take the syrup and put a little tequila in it. It makes a delicious margarita. There are lots of things you can do with prickly pear syrup and prickly pear juice. Anyway, my proposal is, when I get off the Appalachian Trail, those of you who had very helpful suggestions, and everyone who commented so far has had very helpful suggestions, I'm going to personally invite you to come to my teepee and bring your family and spend an evening, once it's all set up, and videotape you observing what I've done and get your further suggestions on there. And then other people can enjoy what we've done. They can experience it through our eyes, live vicariously, if you will. And then when they decide to set up their own home, away from home, or their own dwelling, they'll know how to do it and won't have to experience some of the more unpleasant things that we've had to go through, or that I've had to go through. I do want you to know that I had one commenter on another video comment that composting manure is really nasty. Well, if you've had chemistry, you know that it doesn't matter if it's plant-based matter or if it's human feces or animal feces, that decomposition breaks those things down into elements. So it doesn't matter if the carbon came from this source or this source, it's still carbon. And while I don't use the compost that I got from my human air compost for my garden, I could. The reason I don't is I would hate for my visitors to come be eating my corn on the cob or, oh great, ask how I grew it. Say, well, guess what? You want to come see my compost pile? No, I don't want them to know. And I wouldn't want to do that to my unsuspecting guests. So I use a vegetable-based compost pile for the garden and the human air compost pile for the ornamentals. Thank you, everyone. Any more suggestions? I really could use them. The rocket stove. I do want to comment on that comment because I used a rocket stove, but not one that was plumbed outside the teepee. I think that's an excellent idea. And using the French drains around the teepee in an area that might flood is an excellent idea. I'm going to utilize both of those for sure. Because I'll be living in East Texas where the rainfall is considerably more. And yes, I'll put my teepee on high ground. And if you do decide you want to be one of the guests in my teepee, you will have to bring your own bedding. I think I'm going to try using a blackbird hammock from Warbonnet. I don't know if you've seen those, but I think that's the kind of bed I'm going to use. Because even though I didn't mind spending my bed with, critters, I have 2 dogs anyway, they sleep with me. I read that a normal individual throughout their lifetime will eat X amount of insects. Well, when you live in a teepee, I think that number triples. And I don't really want to consume them, consciously or not. So I think I'll sleep in a hammock. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm not sure if I'll put up any more videos since the teepee is down now until then. But anyone who wants to go on the Appalachian Trail and take 9 months to get through it, you're welcome to go. If you happen to read about a woman, a hiker who has been impaled on her own walking stick, it's probably me. That's okay. I'll probably recover. I'm a tough old bird. So thank you for watching, and hasta luego.